Hey Janet, I'm here at your house. I just want to review a couple of these open spaces you might want to fill in. So we talked about possibly filling in with green giant arborvitae along that fence. That'll eventually grow taller to give you more screening. All right, it's around 60 feet wide. Possibly some plantings to the right side of this willow in here. All right, so that's roughly 40 feet by 10 feet. Another area from the weeping willow over to the existing grasses. All right, so that's another 55 feet by 8 feet. Okay. Um, let's see here. Then in here, again, this is a prime area. You might end up adding some more perennials. You've got iris in here. You've got black-eyed Susans, but I think a bigger grouping along this edge might make more sense. Looks like you also got some hydrangeas in here that they cut way back, which you're not really supposed to do. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. You got to seed them, so it's kind of like just a collage of different plants. You might want to try to keep it more uniform through here. And again, you might end up wanting to transplant some of these grasses and transplant some of these plants. All right, so you have roughly like a 25-foot area here that you might consider trying to get a little bit more color. All right, rip out all the inkberry hollies around the whole property. Possibly some more plantings along those two sections of that fence, so you're not just looking at the fence. I think that's one of the issues you have here is that when you're spending down here, you're just kind of staring up at this fence. So I would consider doing that. All right. It looks like they've got some ornamental grasses back here, so based on the size and how tall they grow, perhaps that will block the fence over in this area. All right. Again, all the inkberry hollies would come out of here. Looks like you've got another hydrangea in there. But I think this area through here, there's another gap, call it right here. That's another 15 feet by 7 feet that you're going to want to probably fill in. Looks like this is just from that rain the other day. This looks like it's supposed to be the lawn. So this gets cleaned up, reseeded. Then you've got all the plantings all the way down along the seawall through here. All right, seawall, the bed is roughly about 5 to 6 feet wide currently. Remove the inkberry hollies out of here. All right, and then possibly get something a little bit more interest in this bed as well. Maybe transplant those two bushes, put something that gives you a little more height in here. That probably could look a lot better. All right, so that's something else to consider. Okay. You got clethra over here, more ornamental grasses. The inkberry come out. There's 4 of them. Those, rip those out. Put something else in here that's roughly 12 feet by 3 feet wide. Another open patch over there. That's another 15 feet by 10 feet in that area. Again, along that fence, you want to be staring at that fence, so I would try to block that three panels, roughly 24 feet in this area, trying to get some color and some interest along the fence. Remove the andromeda, which are here. There's like 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. Remove these and replace these with other plants. That's a good 17 feet lengthwise. Just take out the 4 boxwoods, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not really worth treating them. Put something else in here. Possibly take out this ground cover that's not doing well. Put something with more color in this area. Roughly 10 feet by 10 feet in this area. And again, possibly trying to get some more height through here. You've got some grasses through here. And then there's also this kind of patch in the front. There's another grouping right here. There's an open space. That's like another 7 feet by 2 feet. And the grasses, I guess you'd have to make a decision whether you like them up against the foundation of the house. You got more hydrangea over here, which are all cut back. So this is another area again along the fence that you might end up relocating some of the perennials. There's some perennials already there. Sliding those forward and putting in some taller plants. I'll grow a little bit taller along the fence so you have a little bit more of a break up the monotony of just looking at the fence. Okay. And again, same thing over here. It would be nice to get something a little bit taller. It's really this bad. Okay. So you could basically consider putting something taller as far as plants wise. Starting where these grasses stop. I'm hoping these grasses grow tall enough to block the fence, but starting here, going all the way down to the hydrangea over there. Alright, you can leave these grasses in the front, I think that'll look fine, but you need to really kind of soften that fence. Fence needs to be repaired. Probably some wind damage. I can put you in touch with a guy that does fence work. We don't do fencing, we don't do big tree trimming, big tree takedowns, and that's about it. We do everything else. We do everything else in-house, the masonry, the lighting, irrigation, do all that from a maintenance perspective as well. Talk to you soon. Thanks.